Hi everyone, Eva here. I am very excited to be here with you today. I'm about to share a very personal video, one where I really want to share with you how much raw food literally changed my life. When I changed my diet, when I changed my food, I literally changed my life. I'm going to share with you personal and sort of a little bit of a down memory lane sort of video about really specifically how raw food changed my life, how raw food gave me wings. Is it a coincidence that all these things happened when I started on this raw food lifestyle? Maybe so, but I don't believe so. I really believe I'm on the right path, and I want to share with you just exactly how raw food transformed me, how raw food gave me wings, how raw food changed my life, how raw food literally moved me. And so here it goes. So let's see, 7 years ago, I went to the Hippocrates Health Institute and I did the health educator program, and I've shared this in my other videos, and I was high raw for a while, then I went to 100% raw. So my story really does begin when I went 100% raw. Prior to that, I was on a slippery slope. I wasn't able to really, to really get the most out of the raw food lifestyle. I was still, my mindset was very much on the sad American diet or on the standard American diet. I was very much just trying to veganize things and just adding lettuce to the salads every night and adding smoothies didn't exactly quite cut it. So really my transformation really does begin 5 years ago when I finally made the jump. I said, I'm going 100% raw. Here I go. And I never really looked back. I went overnight into 100% raw lifestyle. I did cheat here and there, never with a full meal, never with a sandwich, never with pizza, never with French fries, never with a cupcake, never with cheesecake, never with anything like that. If anything, maybe bites, from the food that I was cooking my family, or maybe a spoonful of something here and there, but I really never, I was very, very, very consistent for 5 years. And so a lot of changes took place, but probably one of the biggest things that happened when I first went 100% raw is that I found my voice. I found that I was able to communicate better, which is going to sound a little woo-woo and a little crazy, but really I did feel like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I started walking straighter, and it's almost like I was able to communicate better. I wasn't riddled with fear. I wasn't riddled with anxiety. I slept really soundly. I had these amazing dreams, and I noticed that I started communicating a lot more efficiently and a lot more better, which in turn enriched my relationships because I was able to communicate instead of keeping my mouth shut like I normally would have, or not wanting to rock the boat. I started sharing and I started being more open about my feelings, not in a mean or I'm gonna let you have it kind of way, but in a very non-threatening sort of way. So that's one thing that literally just rocked my world, because I had been one to, like I said, meek and quiet and not wanting to shake things up. So that was a huge transformation. Another thing raw food did for me is it gave me a lot of courage. Like I just said, it gave me a lot of security and sure-footedness on myself, because I thought, well, look, I can do hard things. I mean, hard things don't scare me. I can do challenging things. I can do difficult things. I could go against the mainstream, and I can swim upstream, and I can do all these things. So it gave me a lot of self-assuredness, and it gave me a lot of confidence in myself. 2.5, 3 years into my journey, I started to see things quite differently. I started to see that some relationships were no longer serving me or the other person. I started to see that the place where I was living was no longer serving me or my family. I started to have the courage to consider uprooting ourselves, and I started to really believe in my dreams, believe that I could do anything I wanted with my family. And so this is gonna sound crazy, but I have videos about this, but we decided to sell everything we owned. And by me being courageous and me believing in my dreams, and I know this sounds a little woo-woo, but by me having that courage to do that, it also gave people around me permission to be courageous too, because let's be honest, the women in the family is usually the one that makes the big decisions. Obviously with your husband you make those decisions, but we're the instigators, we're the ones that we give the push. So I decided, no, my husband and I decided we wanted to sell everything. We wanted to sell the house, and we had a beautiful home in Florida. We had all the trappings of a good, comfortable life. You know, my husband had his own business, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I was homeschooling my kids. But raw food started to sort of peel some layers around me. I can't describe it, but it almost like it gave me a set of new eyes to look at things, and it gave me permission to question things more. And like I said, maybe it's a coincidence, but in my opinion, it was, raw food was the catalyst. So we decided to sell our home, and we decided to close the business and sell the business, and we decided, I was already homeschooling my kids, but we decided to get rid of every last stick of furniture we owned, and we gave it away. We sold it, we Craigslisted it, we put it on Facebook Marketplace, we donated it, we got rid of everything. We saved literally just a few boxes, with like my juicer, my Norwalk juicer, and our sauna we saved, and some mementos, obviously the photo albums, but everything else went. And so we bought an RV. We bought a really big RV, one of those RVs that have bunk beds, and then a bedroom for us, and a little kitchen, like an RV. And we decided we wanted to travel. We wanted to travel at first I was thinking small, let's just do it for a couple of months. And then we just said, what the heck, let's do it for a year. So we decided to travel for a year in an RV while I was still 100% raw. And that's another very interesting story about how I made that happen. But basically, I bought a huge cooler. The RV had a fridge, it was tiny, and I replenished as often as I could. And I was 100% raw the whole entire time. And I juiced every day, and I brought my Vitamix, and it was just fine. But basically, we decided to just take the kids out. We were living in South Florida, and we were just going to travel this wonderful, amazing country that is just an amazing gift, really. And we took our RV and we went all around the United States, and we did that for a year. And I honestly believe that it was the raw food that sort of propelled me, and it gave me the wings and the courage to do that, because up until that point it was just a pipe dream. It was just something that you dream about, that you think you're gonna do one day, but that day never really does come. For most people, one day never comes. So honestly, I really believe it was the raw food that just gave me that opportunity. The fact that I was so emboldened, so empowered, so sure of myself. My faith got strengthened. I just believed that anything and everything was possible. Also, at this time, I realized that I didn't need all the things. Our house was stuffed full of things, furniture and clothes and shoes and bags. And I never really had many clothes and bags, to be honest with you. I was never one of those people. I preferred to spend my money on juicers or going to a retreat or doing something, health oriented. But honestly, our house was just full of stuff like everyone else's. And all of a sudden, I just became so aware of all these things that I make a long story short, I became sort of like a minimalist. I got rid of everything, and it felt so good, and I felt just so amazing unloading all of this. And it really was the raw food. Raw food put things in a perspective of simpleness, of not smallness, but like simplify, shed what's unwanted, let it go. And because my diet was so minimalist in a way, my lifestyle became a minimalist lifestyle. And because I did this, it gave also my family permission to sort of like what the heck, you're right, we don't need all these things. So my husband got rid of all the things, and my kids, it was a little bit harder, so I didn't push it too much. I let them save some of their things. Of course, I'm not gonna be like, give me that. So they saved some of their things and they put them in storage. But honestly, it was the lifestyle that gave me permission to let go of all the things that were unwanted, that were no longer serving me. Another huge improvement I noticed was that when I had been a vegan, I had been on my high horse. And how do you know someone is vegan? They'll tell you. I was one of those. Oh, is that vegan? Oh, well, I'm vegan. Oh, When I became raw, it was like, first of all, don't even go there because there's no one around you that's also going to be raw. So why even mention it? You're going to be a weirdo. But it just gave me the sense of, what do I know? I'm just learning. This is all new. I don't have it all figured out. But it gave me, I don't know that I'm explaining myself well, but it just gave me the sense that obviously veganism didn't even begin to cut it. So who was I to tell other people vegan is the way, when I myself had found, I might find myself as a raw vegan, realizing that I knew nothing as a vegan, realizing that I had nothing figured out, realizing that it was just all obviously not working out, realizing that grains were not great, realizing that the bread and the pasta wasn't great. And so it really truly, it just put me on a different plane as far as being also humble. I became more humble, and I'm still trying to be humble because I'm not exactly the most humble person here either, but it definitely took me down a notch as far as like, I honestly, what I thought was true is not true. I am living on these abundant fruits and vegetables, and what I thought was right, it isn't, and here I am. And so that's another reason why I continue to learn. Never have I claimed to have everything figured out. And so it really was a transformation of mind, body, spirit, and lifestyle, literally lifestyle. So like I said, we traveled for a year, and then we found ourselves on the West Coast. We decided we loved California, like who doesn't, even though it's got a lot of challenges and some huge challenges. And we ended up living in a place that did not resemble our old place, so it took us down a notch as well, as far as what we could afford in California versus what we could afford in Florida. It was a big sobering sort of thing, and that was good for me too. That was good for my family too, that hey, you know, here we afford a lot less, and we end up living in a much smaller place, and we don't have a pool, and you know, things like this. So it's been such a gift in my life. I can't even begin to describe how much the journey of raw food has taught me. It hasn't just been about the food. It is the gift that keeps on giving, literally. Another thing the raw food lifestyle, another way it gave me wings, is that I realized I was a major, and I was able to hide it as a vegan, major sugar addict, major emotional eater. When I realized this, when I started eating the fresh fruits and the vegetables, and there was nowhere to hide, there was no bowl of vegan ice cream to hide behind. Not only do your emotions become raw, not only are you able to express yourself better, but you're also realizing that you have been hiding behind the food, that you're stuffing yourself. And so I realized, wow, I'm a big time emotional eater. I'm a big time someone that sugar addict. Sugar was like my goodness, what an addiction I had. And so that's another huge way that my lifestyle just showed me a marvelous and amazing new way forward. I still have a huge way to go. I don't claim to have it all figured out. I am sharing here in real time as it goes. I shared in my last video that I added a little bit of hummus to my diet, regular hummus. Watch my last video. That did not work out so well. Hummus really upset me, especially if I use the store-bought like I did a few times. And so I've decided to add some lentils to my salad, a cup of cooked plain lentils to my salad, and I'm going to share with you also in real time how that goes. I have nothing to hide. I'm 100% transparent. I never want to think or let anyone think that I have all the answers, because I don't. I am sharing in real time. So that's another way the raw food has changed me. I have really nothing to hide. I take me as I am. Here I am. I don't pretend to be something that I am not. And so yes, I am going to add a cup of lentils to my dinner salad, to my already raw food, probably 2-3 times a week to see how I get on. I'm trying to add more calories without adding upping the fruit. And so that's just where I'm at. I will share with you as things happen, as things develop. Like I said, and I'm excited to share with you, because raw food has given me the ability to do that and not really be concerned with what you guys think. I never have claimed to have all the answers. I can only share and let you know how I feel and how I'm doing and how I'm progressing. In my next video, I'm going to share my blood my blood work results. I just had my blood work done, I should say, and I'm awaiting the results. I'm going to share them with you without hiding anything. My results are going to be right there for you to see. And so I don't have all the answers, but what I do know, I will share. And I got a little off track, but anyway, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really wanted to share this video with you because I thought it was important to show that raw food will change your life, not just on the physical, but it will literally transform your life around you as it happens. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I wish everyone a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yo de testigo, vamos 1, 2, 3, sin estrés. Muéstrame sus pasos, te cuento hasta 10 y ven.